Hey everyone, I'm Mohammed Bilal, and welcome back to Beyond the Basics. So, if you're an intermediate clinical data manager, you know that database lock is a massive milestone. But here's the thing, preparing for it is so much more than just a technical task. It's a true test of your leadership, of your ownership. In this explainer, we're going to break down what that really means.
So let's just get this out of the way first. Is database lock really just about flipping a switch at the end of a study? I mean, it seems so simple on the surface, but the reality is a whole different ballgame. It's not just the end of the work. It is the culmination of all of it.
In reality, database lock is the definitive moment we declare that all data collection is complete. Just think about that. It's the grand finale of months or sometimes even years of incredibly meticulous work. This one single action seals the integrity of the entire clinical trial, and that ensures trust for sponsors, for regulators, and ultimately for the patients.
So to really get a feel for the pressure and the responsibility involved here, we first need to appreciate why this isn't just another checkbox on the project plan. Let's explore why database lock is really considered the ultimate milestone in any clinical study.
You know, when you boil it all down, database lock is our final assurance that all of the study data is complete, it's clean, and it's absolutely ready for analysis. And this is so critical because once that lock is engaged, that's it. It's the point of no return. The data is now officially frozen and ready to tell its story. And believe me, this single action sends massive ripples across the entire clinical trial ecosystem. For sponsors, a clean, solid lock builds trust in the results. For regulators, it proves the integrity of your whole process. And most importantly, for the patients, it secures their invaluable contribution to science. It's really about respecting everyone's investment in the trial. Okay, so the stakes are obviously super high. The big question is, how do you actually get there? Well, success isn't about frantically ticking boxes off some generic checklist right before the deadline. Nope. It's about a continuous, strategic readiness check that you manage from, well, before that final day. I like to think about readiness in three core pillars. First, data cleaning has to be finalized. I mean, every single query is resolved. Done. Second, reconciliation. This is where you make sure your clinical data perfectly aligns with all those external sources, like safety and lab data. And third, and this is crucial, sign-offs. You absolutely need documented approval from your key stakeholders. Without all three of those, your foundation is pretty shaky. And this, right here, brings us to what I believe is the most important shift for an intermediate CDM. It's about evolving from just being a participant in the process to becoming the true owner of the outcome. So here's the absolute heart of it. You're no longer just responsible for closing your assigned queries. Your responsibility is so much bigger now. It's to ensure the entire cross-functional team, we're talking programmers, statisticians, medical monitors, everyone is aligned and ready for this milestone. And this illustrates the difference perfectly. A participant closes assigned queries, an owner manages the entire query strategy. See the difference? A participant waits for instructions. An owner is the one who proactively leads the lock readiness meeting, setting expectations and driving that timeline forward. It's a fundamental shift from being reactive to being proactive.
But look, taking ownership isn't just about great planning. It's also about how you react when, not if, but when things go wrong. Because let's be real, no matter how well you prepare, there's always going to be some last-minute chaos. And this is where a true owner really shines.
I want you to picture this. It's the final 48 hours before the scheduled lock. And suddenly, you discover a missing data set from a vendor. Or a serious adverse event gets reported that needs immediate reconciliation. The pressure is on, big time. Panic is not an option. So let me ask you, when that surprise issue lands right on your desk, what is a leader's response? How does an owner react in that moment in a way that's completely different than a participant? The leader's response is strategic, not panicked. First, you manage the impact. You have to assess if the lock needs to be delayed or if you can actually proceed. Second, you justify the decision you make, clearly documenting the issue, the solution, and the rationale behind it. And third, you keep all of your stakeholders informed. Clear, proactive communication is absolutely key to maintaining trust.
All right, now that you understand the owner's mindset, let's make this practical. It's time to move from theory into action. Here is your ownership playbook. 3 concrete steps you can take right now to prepare yourself to lead your next database lock with confidence.
First, create your own detailed lock checklist based on your own experience. This forces you to think through every single step. Second, ask to shadow a senior CDM during their next lock. Just observe how they communicate and how they handle pressure. And third, practice what-if scenarios. What would you do if the lab data was late? Thinking through these situations builds incredible confidence. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Take a moment and really think. What is the absolute first item you would put on your personal lock checklist? Answering that question is your first real step toward true ownership.
That's our breakdown for preparing for database lock. Remember, the key is shifting your mindset from a participant who completes tasks to an owner who leads the entire team to the finish line. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We've got new videos every Monday at 8 a.m. EST for Beyond the Basics and every Wednesday at 8 a.m. EST for Mentoring Maya. Thanks for watching.